Hi Dreamer, welcome back to another episode of Edible Materials. Okay, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Today I'm in London and I'm trying UK snacks for the second time. If you haven't seen part 1, then go watch that and then come back. Or you can watch part 2. It'll have probably some spoilers to part 1, but that's okay. We have 7 or 8 different snacks today, and some of them are similar to what I taste tested last time I was in the UK, but there are different varieties. And then I have some completely new snacks too. Let's start with the savory and then end with all the sweets. To start off, we have something I'm not quite sure of. Wotsits? Is that how you'd say it? I almost think. It's going to be really cheesy. I'll be the judge of that. These are good. Very, very similar to cheese puffs, but more dense and obviously smaller in shape. I would say the cheese flavor is similar, but more concentrated and more intense with this. So it is really cheesy. I would say it has a more aged cheddar flavor than the typical Cheetos that you would get in the States. I do think the texture of normal Cheetos is more satisfying than these, but flavor-wise, I would prefer these. Pretty good. I wouldn't complain if somebody gave me this snack on. Maybe an 8 out of 10. Pretty good. The next one, Monster Munch, I'm fairly concerned about. I mean, roast beef flavor? Kind of weird. Ooh, they smell like roast beef, that's for sure. Crazy hand shape. Oh, these are really hard. Oh, and really salty. No. Really acquired flavor. It definitely has a roast beef essence to it, but overall I find it very salty, very hard, almost too big to put like the whole little snack crisp in your mouth at once to snack on. Oh, I don't enjoy the texture. I don't think the flavor is particularly good. It does leave a roast beef flavor in your mouth, so the flavor is true to what it is. I just don't feel like it should exist. No, it's a little bit of abomination as far as I'm concerned. For me, this is like a 1 out of 10. I don't think it has very many redeeming characteristics, really. The bag's cute. How about that? We have one more savory option before we move on to all the sweets. This one is also Monster Munch, but it's in a pickled onion flavor, which sounds pretty good. I still feel like this snack is too big. If you're American watching this, I feel like it tastes somewhere between a Funyun and a salt and vinegar chip. If those two had a baby, that's where the flavor kind of lies. Slightly sweet and corn forward, but also has the twang that the salt and vinegar does. Does it taste like pickled onion? I don't necessarily think so. I think it tastes more like a vinegar chip that we have in the States. It would be interesting to know what I feel about these if it was on a chip instead of this like puff. Because I find this puff very hard to eat and hard. It's just not a fun snack. Even though it's supposed to be. I mean, look how cute this bag is. You guys know how I feel about the crisp. So just judging it on flavor alone, this probably falls like right in the middle. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just maybe a 5 out of 10. Okay, now moving on to some of the sweets. I have what I believe to be a candy bar bounty. Now I've heard of this. I don't believe I've tried it. Chocolate and coconut is what it kind of appears to be. Growing up, I never liked chocolate and coconut, but as I've gotten older, I really don't mind that combination. There's 2 of these in the wrapper, and I would say that this is a good size. Coconut's good inside of it. Tastes to me exactly like the coconut chocolate bars that we have in the States. I don't know if that I could tell a difference. I think this chocolate even tastes the same. I might prefer what we have in the States, just slightly better, but they're very, very, very similar. Not bad if you like chocolate and coconut. 6 out of 10. Moving on to Mr. Kipling's and their little pies. Now, I tried a couple Mr. Kipling things in my last UK taste test video, but I don't believe I tried these. These look so cute. All right, the box states that it has apples and blackcurrant. They do seem to love their blackcurrant flavored things around here. I'm surprised that these are just out. There's no like plastic around them at all. Like, what is keeping this fresh? It was cardboard box and they're just in like a plastic tin. Americans get hammered about our preservatives, but like how many preservatives have to be in like this? The fact that it's just not like wrapped up in the air, probably get to it. Okay, let's talk about the good things. One, it is adorable. It is like the cutest little pie. I would love to serve these at like Thanksgiving or some kind of big meal back in the States. These would be wonderful to have out for like a party. Just adorable personal sized little pies. It also smells pretty good. Some might say that this needs more filling. Considering that I am more of a savory person, I think this is a great ratio of crust filling. I also think the filling tastes pretty good. It doesn't really taste stale, even though I was concerned that it would. I actually like it pretty good. It's a little seemingly underbaked to me. The crust is a little doughy. I don't know if Brits would warm these in the oven just a little bit. I don't really have that option here as I'm just in a hotel room, but I like it. I actually think it's better than a lot of the other Mr. Kipling snacks that I've tried. This is pretty good. Also, the flavor of like blackcurrant apple, to me, this just tastes like a mixed berry kind of flavor. I don't think I get apple or blackcurrant personally, but I do like it. I like the flavor, I like the crust, and yeah, I would happily serve this at a party in the States. Maybe a 9 out of 10. I thought this was pretty good. All right, one more sweet before we get into some of the little biscuits that everybody's been waiting for. I got killed in my last video for not dunking the biscuits, so we're here to dunk the biscuits. But first, Jaffa Cakes. I don't think I tried these last time. They're definitely a staple over here, and I don't think I tried them. The chances of me liking them, not great, because it's orange and chocolate. They come in a little wrapper. Looks to be about 10 in each sleeve, 2 sleeves to the container that I bought. It's a spongy, and then there's chocolate on the other side. Is there a correct way to eat this? I don't know. Chocolate up, chocolate down. I'm gonna do chocolate down. I do not enjoy this combination, so let's evaluate it without the orange and chocolate, which to me just comes off as bitter and tart and just not good. But let's evaluate it besides that. I don't think the chocolate on this is particularly tasty. I think it's kind of waxy. It gets overwhelmed by the orange flavor, so I don't think the balance is quite right. I also feel like the sponge cookie on here is kind of like angel food cake that you like heavily compressed and then left it out for a day. Seems a little kind of stale, even though I'm sure it's supposed to be like this. And it's chewy and also a little gooey from the chocolate. No, definitely acquired, not for me. I don't believe this is good, and I don't believe a lot of people would actually like this. I don't believe this is particularly good. This is one of the worst things I've tried. I would rate this maybe a 3 out of 10. Okay, so if you watched my last video, which if you're watching this one, you probably watched the last one, I didn't dip any of the tea biscuits in tea or coffee, and everybody laid into me because they need to be dunked. Even though I still stand by the fact that Americans don't dunk things, except for maybe an Oreo cookie in a glass of milk. That might be as crazy as we get over there. I got 3 different biscuits to dunk in a cup of coffee, and I'm going to humor the people that yelled at me that said that the biscuits really need to be dunked. Since dunking things is not part of our culture over in the States, I feel like this is really not going to improve them, but I am going to do it anyway. These are also, I believe, all 3 different. I got the tea cookies, the classic ones, but then they also had the original. I looked at the package and couldn't really tell the difference. I'd love to hear what the difference is if you know. Let's start with the hobnobs. Last time I had the hobnobs with chocolate on the bottom, and I do believe that they might have been my favorite out of the biscuits, even though I didn't really care for any of the biscuits in general. I do enjoy the smell of the hobnobs. I can't remember what I said about this before. Last time I do believe it had chocolate on the bottom. The flavor of this is so similar to something that we have back in the States that we eat without dunking. Texture-wise, it's just dry and it's just hard to eat. So let's dunk it in the coffee. Now, is there a set amount of time that I'm supposed to be dunking it? Or is one dunk enough? Oh. Oh, I do not think that that's better at all. It completely ruins the flavor of this biscuit. Sure, okay, sure the texture's softer, and it did get significantly softer, but the flavor doesn't hold up. You completely lose the flavor. So then you're just eating a soggy cookie with a cup of coffee. I don't see the genius here. Honestly, I just soon have this plain. I don't think it's great plain, but I think I would much rather have this one plain. But maybe the other ones can be improved with a cup of coffee. This hobnob on its own, I would rate maybe a 6 out of 10. Dunked, I think it drops it to a 4 out of 10. I don't think it improves it at all. Next up, digestive biscuits. I was really fascinated by the name of these last time. I mean, it's just so interesting. Digestive, I guess it doesn't say biscuits. I guess it just says digestives. I apologize. I got the dark chocolate. I definitely had the milk chocolate last time. And I didn't show it on camera, but Brad actually really liked these and ended up eating the whole package. So let's try the dark chocolate this time. First up, the chocolate is melting on my fingers. Oh, no. Okay. From my memory, I do think the chocolate on this dark chocolate one is better than the milk chocolate. As a whole, I don't necessarily think the dark chocolate complements the cookie. And I think from an overall eating experience, it's not great. It literally is all over my fingers. But let's just assume that you're going to eat it somewhere cold, and so it's going to hold its integrity. And I'm going to dip it in my coffee that is going to quickly turn it into a mocha. Now that's going to be interesting. Chocolate and coffee go together. I guess chocolate and tea go together. I'm not opposed to tea. I just didn't have access to tea here. And even if I found some, I probably would brew it wrong, to be honest. Okay, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The coffee makes this one a lot better. The flavor in the dark chocolate is strong enough to hold up to the flavor of the coffee. And I do think that the dunking makes the cookie softer and less dry. Flavor still holds. Chocolate goes with the coffee. This combination, I think, actually makes sense. And I think it's good. On its own, I would rate this biscuit and chocolate maybe a 3 out of 10. With the coffee, I would rate it maybe a 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. Okay, one more before I lose all of my lighting. We have the tea cookies. This literally smells like a cracker. This has the flavor of a very mild graham cracker back in the States. Is the texture of this better than a graham cracker in the US? I don't know. I would say it's similar. I don't really enjoy the texture of a graham cracker either. This is just a really, really dry. There's no way you could eat like more than one of these just on its own. It's going to completely dry out your mouth. Flavor-wise, I don't think it's bad. Like I said, it kind of has a mild honey graham cracker taste from what I'm used to. Okay, let's dunk it. It's another one. I don't enjoy the flavor combination together. I don't believe that they add anything to the other one. The coffee completely overwhelms this cookie and just makes it soggy. It doesn't necessarily even make it soft and enjoyable to eat. It just makes it mushy. So I don't really get it. I think on its own, it's probably a 3 out of 10. And I think with the coffee, it's also a 3 out of 10. So I think I will enjoy my cup of coffee without these tea biscuits. I hope that satisfies all of the viewers that really wanted to see me dunk some cookies in some beverages. If I missed anything, let me know. I will be back to the UK. I also just got back from Borough Market and filmed a video. I don't know if it's up before this one. I'm not sure which order I'm posting, so subscribe to make sure that you don't miss that video. And let me know what I missed in this one that I should have tried and what I missed at the market. I will be back shortly with another video. Until next time, bye!